Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is having a melancholy moment here, standing in the ruins of Langhold, surveying the destruction of the once lovely town. Am I right in thinking that this is the first place in the game where we get this kind of layering? Right? I don't remember this kind of layering elsewhere. Where now, like, we are looking at burned out Langhold instead of Langhold full of small children and women with biceps of steel. So anyway, yeah, very sad. The tents survived more or less well. They've been kind of knocked down, but you can sort of expect that. Interesting that they still have a guard. Adnoth here.
Two things must you accomplish to acquire the Warsteed you seek.
Help in the defense of Langhold. Kind of B- on that one. Travel south to Harwick and learn how to safely and swiftly engage in combat from the back of a Warsteed. And that's going to be awesome. Okay, cool. So it is time for Gryfflet to get his war pony. This is going to be tremendously exciting. And I don't doubt comical. No signs of people in the center of town. Is there anyone? Can I go into the mead hall is locked for good. No more Thane in Langhold. So that was actually that was my question. Whether Eastmund was going to set himself up as a Thane, or whether he was just going to abolish the whole thing. Do we meet Eastmund again? Alright, I'm going to head to Harwick. Those of you who think I'm going in the wrong direction, I am going in the wrong direction on purpose. I want to just pop in on the ruffians, see if the ruffians have changed at all. Phil, you're right. I didn't notice that there's still a fully functional mailbox there. See, there you go. Like, the postman, come rain or hail or siege of Nazgûl, they're going to keep delivering the mail. Yeah, well, Ethel, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Whether or not Eastmund has successfully established an autonomous collective. Okay. So we do basically, it looks like, have the same, no change really to their camps. Okay. Just wanted to check and see. All right, so Eastmund and his folks are still slumming over there. Because I'm trying to understand with the Eastmund plot, how high do Eastmund's ambitions go? Is he just really looking to establish, independence for his ruffians, his people, up here, so that the Thane will stop bothering them and they can carry on living in their grubby tents down there in the gully? Or is he wanting to take over Langhold himself and set himself up as Thane? Or does he have higher ambitions? Is he not bothering with Langhold because he's going to, move on and set himself up as Reeve in Harwick or King, of the Wold or something like that? Anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of wondering about that. Okay, and then we've got the lovely ruin with the dragons. That must be the mead hall of Harwick. Now, the mead hall of Harwick is sort of bulbous, actually, more than I would have expected. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. Now here's the arena. It's like the hippodrome of Harwick. Ah. Okay. Interesting. The mead hall is very dominant, but as I say, I'm interested in how the... Again, it looks like the mead hall of Harwick looks pregnant. Maybe it's going to have little mead halls. Alright, so the road comes straight into the stables. I mean, I see it also goes over here to this other gate. I'm not going to lie, folks of Harwick. Your banner with a shirt on it is kind of... I know it's a hauberk. I know it's not a shirt. But still. A little on the lame side. Not going to lie. A little on the lame side. Oh, it's a merchant. It's a friendly merchant. Hi, friendly merchant. Are there unfriendly merchants? Have merchants decided to be unfriends with me already for some reason? I can't understand why. Well, let's go to the stables, though. All right. Hi, Mr. Stable Guard. Devastation in the north, yeah.
Welcome and well.
Let's see, what is my business here? Explain to the guard that I seek Killen, wife of the late Thane of Langhold, and bring news to the Thane of Harwick that war has begun in the wold. Yeah, it's a big deal. Killen is at the stables tending Uhtred's Warsteed. You bear grievous tidings of our neighbor's fates. Yeah, though with my indirect path here, it's hard for me to believe that I'm the first one to arrive with the news.
Greetings. You have a moment. I have need of your assistance.
What a nice little steed you ride. Nothing like our own horses, but a nice little steed. If I am to ride alongside our warriors upon the plains of Rohan, you must learn how to fight from horseback as well. Her steeds are not so gentle-bred as are those of the north. They are stronger, but also more willful and difficult to handle. I have asked one of our finest riding instructors to teach you in the ways of handling a steed of the Rohirrim. You will find Seoka at the tourney field south of Harwick. First, though, you should look into getting a steed. Sure. Okay. I will. This is going to be great. Mounted combat tutorial. Oh, I have such bad memories of this field. Those of you who remember who were with me a couple years back when I did this the first time with Wigand, I was having horrible problems with my computer. Then I had like massive lag, and trying to learn how to ride a Warsteed for the first time. A Warsteed, yeah, that's totally what I should call it. But anyway, for the first time with like terrible lag was like a complete nightmare. It took me so long to get through the basic challenges because I just like couldn't do it. Anyway, okay, let's see. What do we have here? Outfitted warhorse. Aren't you handsome? Kind of like the orange. I don't know, though. I'm not real fond of the head. Ooh. I like that better. Oh, yes. The armor on the face. That's cool. Not sure about the danglies there, but that's really kind of nice. Oh, yeah. The green. I'm liking that even better. Yeah, this one looks sleek. I don't think Gryfflet wants a heavily armored one. He wants one that looks super fast. Oh, you're just plain. That's okay. You're a nice horse, too. Okay. All right. Okay, Buttercup? For real?
Will you aid the horse lords?
Okay, we saw the smoke. The brave guards from Harwick already rode forth and scouted to return with the news. Oh, good. So you've heard about your husband. She stares only at her husband's Warsteed. Buttercup was the name of her husband's Warsteed, for real? Oh, hang on a second. I'm supposed to do this. So, I don't know if this was a thing or if some weird happened for me, but my resolution was going. I did the latest patch, and when I logged in, it was on like the minimum resolution, and I had to change things around. And it's also I think my mouse scrolling speed is like completely out of control. I might need to. Can I change that here? Let me see. Is there a way to do that? Because my mouse is like, I can barely click on anything. No, input? Okay. No, mouse look sensitivity. That's just not what I want. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So you're going to gift me Buttercup. That is so nice. So nice, I'm going to, like, right over top of you, apparently. I have obtained my first Warsteed. Hooray! Okay, so it means I've got to... Let's see. There he is. A medium Warsteed. I guess I was kind of assuming I'd have a light Warsteed, but maybe not. Yeah, I can't like click on things here. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'd always been, but I mean, I know that as a burglar I wear medium armor, so I guess that really shouldn't be surprising. But that's just not really how I'd ever thought of my Warsteed. Hey there. Kelly? Kelly is the name of my Warsteed, huh? Let's see. Alright. Okay. So it's not actually a pony? I don't get a war pony. It's a little disappointing. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Balance and stability without sacrificing or favoring survivability or maneuverability. Okay. Warsteeds. Riders of Warsteeds are usually more focused on close combat. Well, given that I have only the one kind of pathetic ranged skill, that seems right. Blending greater offense over defense. Okay. Great, let's do that. So let's see. Ooh, long reach. That sounds handy. No, max distance of range skills. No, it doesn't sound handy. Let's see. What else do we get here? My other options. Hard to hurt. Okay. Sure. All right. Appearance. I don't have any options here, do I? A couple saddles. I kind of like this one, except it looks like Gryfflet is missing this one. It doesn't look like he's riding on that one properly. Okay, no worries. Do I have something? Ooh, look at that, I do have something. What is this? This must be a thing. Then I guess I should use this one, because it obviously goes with it. What did I just put on my tail? That's just not the tail. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, that's the steed of the Eldar, right? Okay, yeah, cool. Well, that's something anyway. Let's apply this. Yeah, looking good. Name, though. Need a name for my Warsteed. How do I rename? Aha. I don't think Kelly's going to work. What do you guys think? Phil, I had a vague memory, too, that somebody had a really good horse name suggestion last session, but I can't remember what it was. Killdozer. Lobelia. Alright, I think I might cancel this for now. We gotta put some thought into this. I gotta take some suggestions here. You know, Errantry is kind of a good name, actually. Yeah, Errantry is not bad. Wiggins' horse, of course, is called Wayward. W-A-Y-W-Y-R-D. Oh, Trotter! That's what it was. Yeah, Trotter. That was the suggestion. A little on the nose for a horse, of course, but yeah, no, that was the suggestion from last time. I'm not sure if I can commit to Trotter as the horse's name, but it is an attractive idea. Okay, let's see. First of all, I hate Warsteeds in towns, and let me try to familiarize myself with my skills here. What am I in? Discipline. Okay, the Rohirrim discipline. Which one even is that? So there's... Oh, it's quick stop. Yeah, I want that. All right, hang on. Let me put these up here. Let's sort this here. And then this is the Rittermark discipline. Okay. Oops. Okay. JJ suggests that if this is Wayward Son, we could call him Carrion. Yeah, Carrion, Wayward Son. That's very good. I like that a lot, actually. All right, and I want quick stop on number 1. Quick stop is my favorite skill. Mounted skill here. Okay. It's hard to resist. Carry on, my wayward son. Oh man. So what do these even do? So, let me even remember about the disciplines, because, okay, so this is like the middle one. The Rohirrim discipline focuses on the daredevil nature of the burglar, allowing for larger risks and greater results. So it's the blue line, basically. The Red Dawn discipline allows the burglar to make his actions more subtle and more dangerous, as targets are chosen carefully and with purpose. Oh dear. Rittermark discipline focuses on distracting and placing enemies in the way of danger. Well, as I'm soloing, let's not do that. Alright, let's go with Red Dawn. Okay. Ride by. Ethelod, there's actually not... Yeah, there's not a single named horse in Malory, actually. For all of the horseback riding that happens, there's no named horses at all in Malory. In fact, though, if I wanted to make a Malory joke, which I kind of do a little bit, I would name him Gramercy, because so like one of the things that happens, especially in the early part of Malory, it's a major trend in battle. Like knights get dismounted, right, in battle, and their friend sees that they've been dismounted, and so they go and they knock another knight off his horse, and they bring his horse to the dismounted person and present the horse to him so that he can get back up on his horse. And it's just this like funny little dialogue thing that so often happens at the beginning of Malory, where like, you know, like King Bors brings King Arthur a new horse and presents him the horse, and Arthur says Gramercy. Yeah, that's then that happens many times. So anyway, okay, sorry, I'm looking at my skills here. So what does this do? This is ride by. What would appear to be a glancing blow is actually a well-calculated strike, providing you with an advantage in the battlefield. Okay, so that does damage over time. This is okay, just a stronger single hit. Trick, stratagem, oh dear. Tricks, which I still don't really understand. Makeshift I can stealth myself on my horse? No way. Really? Is that what this means? Oh, no way. Okay, so I had not even hoped for such a thing. Jollification. Okay. That might be my favorite skill name of all time. Holy cow. Jollification. That is excellent. Takes great joy in wreaking havoc. Okay. So it's just a stronger skill. Alright, so let's see. Let me do this. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put... No, actually, no, wait, let me leave that where it is. I'll put that here. Oh, great, I just lost it. Stupid mouse. Wait, where are my skills? Here, active skills, that's what I want. Mounted ones. There we go. I think it was ride by. I just succeeded in losing. Okay. And then, right, jollification, fantastic. And strategic strike. All right, another single strike, that's good. And what's this one? All in the wrist. Accomplish remarkable feats. Like what kind of feats? Exactly. I don't know. It's fine. Okay. All right. We are set for action. I'm going to stealth myself. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me talk to this dude first. Jollification. Oh, man. You're honored to protect the horses of Harwick. Great. More salamander quests?
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
A cheeky little boy from Langhold boasted to me of your valor against the salamanders troubling that town before it was seized. Okay. They're behaving strangely. The salamanders once fed on the flies, but lately we have seen flies taking over, and the salamanders acting unlike themselves. What, have they formed an unholy alliance with the marsh-flies and are going to form an army and invade? Okay, kill crazed salamanders. Sure. I was killing them back when they were just annoyed.
Our success depends upon our
A terrible shame what happened to those poor folk. Ah, right. The mounts of Rohan are magnificent. Some treacherous marshes. Oh wait, there's a noise. Okay. Find the source of the buzzing noise. Okay, sure. Well, let's finish the riding course. Let's do the riding course first. All right, Seolka. Let's do this. So I might try to answer a lore question, but I can't promise. I think I'm going to have to focus on the riding here, because I am no good with a Warsteed. It also doesn't help that I get motion sickness super easy. And so, like, I can get... Once, when I was first learning the Warsteed, like, I got so turned around I had to go lie down afterwards. So, you know, it's tough. It's tough. This means, by the way, there's like one thing that I cannot do. Some people recommended, like, if you put targeting on, you know, and then you just like are following the one target, like that is the highway to like nausea for me. I absolutely cannot do that. I have to be in control of the movements of the screen, or else it's very, very bad. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I wish to be trained in the ways of riding a war horse. Let us begin. All right. Whoa. Cut screen to a field of water. It's a bad sign. I can't help but think. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, I know about mounting. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to these questions. I just stink. Okay. I've earned myself a fine steed. Absolutely. Steel myself well, for this is no quiet mare, but a noble mount trained in the ways of war. Okay. All right. Two circuits. Okay. So in the end, I don't think I can resist it. I'm trying to think how to spell carry on. That's just that pun is too rich to not use. I mean, I don't want to spell it like that, and of course, it is a fun. It is the fact that it's also a pun of the fact that I'm like basically naming my horse Roadkill is also like between that and the and the carry on my wayward son thing, I really can't resist it. Yeah. How about that? Carry on. See the AE combination, because in my head I'll be pronouncing it Kyrion then all the time, because that's how you pronounce AE in Elvish. So, yeah, there we go. That works. I agree. All right, carry on. Dun 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 dun. This is a lot easier when I'm not lagging. Have I mentioned that I hate steering with the mouse? I mean, like, not just a little bit. I hate it a lot. Yeah. I know that steering with the keys is jerky, but I know it's the best way to steer. I know. But I always feel so much more in control. I think it also has to do... Let's just not carry on doing that. Come on, carry on. Let's not. Yeah, like, I understand about the jerkiness, but honestly, like, it's I think in part it's the jerkiness actually kind of helps me with my whole motion sickness issue. Like I that yeah, anyway, yeah. There you go, JJ. That's it. I mean that was fantastic. It's your name suggestion will live on for years. All right, Sayaka, what do you think?
Our mission is dire.
Okay, the flag course. Okay. If you miss, try slowing down. All right, we'll see what we can do here. All right, let's go half speed. Carry on. I'll try mouse steering, but again, I just... See, the other thing I don't like about it is that it mucks up my vertical too, right? Whereas, again, I'm just doing lateral steering, which is really what I want. Okay. Yeah, the vertical thing is another thing I do dislike about my... And again, I get it. Like, there's no question that you can do finer steering with the mouse. Like, absolutely true. Oh! See? See? Look at that. Forget the bloody mouse. Missed a turn. Ah! Cornering like a boat, but apart from that, okay. Woohoo! I passed them all. Oh, I got to start again? Okay, fine. That last one was 11. All right, we'll keep going. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, I'm going half speed. You know, this is a nice, pleasant ride. The problem was I was experimenting with the mouse, you see. But, all right. Flags accomplished.
You aid the horse lords.
Jumping. Okay. All right, what do I do? Not so different, right? Okay, I just jump. Slow down a bit if I'm having trouble lining up my jumps. All right, let's go. Oh, all right. Going slower than I think I'm going. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. See, sometimes I'll do like I just did, like a little correction with the mouse. Double jump. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally not capable of answering a lore question while doing this. You'd think, like, well, it's not like exactly I'm having to use my brain much here, except it requires intense concentration from me. I'm just not good at this kind of thing. Okay. And then attacks. Woohoo! Oop. Is that it? Okay. All right. Let's do attacks. To the tilting yard. All right. Use the speed of your mount to keep you out of harm's way while delivering devastating attacks. Cue my attacks before I reach the target. Okay. That I've never been particularly good at either. When fighting with horseback, stay in motion. Yeah, right. Yeah. If you find yourself fighting from a standstill, you will be better off fighting on foot. Right. Keeping yourself mobile works best to limit your enemy's opportunity to attack you. Exactly. Fury will build. Okay. I like the Fury thing. Okay. So I'm going to target the guy. There we go. So I can cue my attack, right? So I'll just be like, all right, hit him with this. And so then all I have to do is just get close to him, right? Did I hit him? There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not slowing down, you know, for the corners because why bother when I can just ride over that guy. Okay. No problem. I don't know, it's probably more efficient to just like slow down and go back and forth, but I always tend to just be like going in crazy circles all the time I'm doing mounted combat. Which of course is especially good when you're doing a ranged attack. Like with my Lore Master, you know, I'll never forget the time I was soloing with my Lore Master that the big like troll... Oh, now be off with me. I'm done? Okay. Yeah, so that huge troll in like the northern part of the wold, and so I ran out of power before he was dead. He was like 3/4 of the way down in his morale, but I was completely out of power. So I just was like, I must have orbited that guy like 200 times, right? Because he couldn't hit me, right? So I just kept circling him and circling him and circling him until my power came back and I hit him once and wait again and again. Anyway, it was the Norcrofts. Yeah, that's it. That's where it was. Anyway, yeah, but so like the orbiting was kind of the only strategy I've ever learned. So I never slow down when I turn, in short, not in combat. Okay, good. Excellent. Woohoo! See? Look at that. I'm like, I'm totally a pro. And yeah, that's a lot easier when you're not facing killer lag. All right. Carry on. Ethelod. My poor Lore Master is still stuck at Hytbold because my poor Lore Master was the one I was trying to do the like completionist Rohan with, and Hytbold has been like the bane of my completionist Rohan experience. However, I have received a couple of people who have been messages from a couple of people who have been shocked and saddened when I said I was going to skip Hytbold with Gryfflet, and I've gotten some advice, and I've learned that it's changed. It's a little bit easier now, so I'm willing to give it a shot with some guidance from you guys. And you know, if you guys can help me to do that relatively efficiently, then I'm willing to give it a try with Gryfflet, because I would certainly like to I really loved the Hytbold idea. So if Gryfflet can take care of that without pain and suffering than because, like I said, last time when I was trying to do it, I was like, this is just a cruel thing to do to a completionist. I mean, cruel thing to do to especially a completionist with not much time to play. So, yeah. But anyway, we'll see when Gryfflet gets there. Okay. So I think we're just done here now. Okay. I'm ready. Excellent. Trust in my might and my valor. Fantastic. Speak with the Thane of Harwick. That seems prudent. Okay. Let's see. What do I need to do? Learn how to participate in mounted combat. I did that. So I guess just the next thing is... Oh, do I have to go back to the stable guy? Back to the guard? No? Yeah, it says so. Why do I have a quest ring here? Huh. Wait, sorry. Looked like the map suggests that I have to go down there. Yeah, so I just talked to Enmar in the meat hall and hope that settles up the both of them. Okay, but you know one thing I'm not going to do, and that is ride carry-on in town, as I absolutely hate riding Warsteeds. In cities. Okay. Let me see. Get my bearings here. Okay, so right, this is the main gate, and there's the stable. I should introduce myself to the stable master. Interesting. You notice how much more shabby this place looks than Stangard? Even the walls and towers look a great deal less formidable. Okay. Let's see, should I go to the... Yes, I should go to the Thane first. It's only polite. Let's go up to the pregnant meat hall. I wonder when she's expecting. All right. We've got lots of towers around the side, just a palisade wall. Really small palisade wall. The meat hall's huge. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Phil. Things should be pretty quiet around here when all is right and proper. I mean, when we look at the larger map, right, the Wold map, Harwick is not on the frontier. I mean, it's not like it's far from the frontier. It's not like it's like way, way inland. But you do have the threat from the Easterlings. I don't know. I mean, Stangard should be pretty quiet too. I mean, I understand they don't trust the elves, but it's not like there's a history of invasion from Lothlorien. Okay. All right.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Let's see what I can do for you, but he has not been in a sociable mood of late. Ooh, bridal. Gotta open up a... Oh, I got everything to do here. Gotta open up a slot. Do I have any slots about to open up? 50 out of 60. 40 out of 60. Oh, there's one. Well, that's the one I have equipped, so. Alright. Let's see. I am going to try to get to at least one lore question today. It's hard when I'm coming to a new city, though. Alright, let's see. Into the mead hall. Yeah, Ethelon, I think that's why this is the city of the Reeve. I mean, this is the, essentially the capital city of this region. Again, the mead hall is grand. It's taller. Not to mention, as I said, apparently pregnant. But yeah, the city as a whole is kind of shabby. The defenses are poor. I mean, I don't want to come in and just say I have a low opinion of the Reeve of this place to start with, but, I love this banner. There we go. I love the horse banner, the 3 horses. It's such a beautiful banner. Love the knotwork around and among the horses. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous banner. I mean, it's not one of the like really interesting banners that that invites lots of interpretation, but all right, we got some folks hanging out here, some drinking, some sleeping on the benches. What's she doing? Is she peeling potatoes? Yeah. Maybe she's slicing. If she's slicing, she's doing it wrong. Don't cut towards your hand like that, lady. You crazy? But if you're peeling, it's a little bit different. Still, I wouldn't peel down towards my wrist like that. Hey, an archer. Cool. Yeah, this carving work is really cool. It's like what we've seen before. Will we listen to this Reeve's tale? Yeah, well, let's hope it's a politer tale than that other Reeve's tale. Alder Harding, Alder of Eastamnet, Reeve of the Wold. Okay. So you are an important ranking dude. Why can I not get his quest? Am I too low level for his quest? Why is he grayed out? Oh, that's the Wildemore quest? Okay, fine. So I wasn't supposed to talk to him? Okay. Alright, well that's the Wildemore quest. Fine. Fine. I don't want the Wildemore quest anyway. But I thought I was supposed to come in and talk to the Thane, the Reeve. Or the Alderman. Right, well, no, I don't want the Wildemore quest, but I can't even introduce myself? Not interested in talking to me at all? Won't even acknowledge my presence? That's a little rude. Well, fine. I'm leaving. Looks like I need to find a legendary item. A Forge Master here, anyway. Some serious forging to do. See, and that is down over this way, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay. See, look at the fences. Everything was so much crisper and cleaner, wasn't it? In Standgard? These are very old post fences. These are very, you know, old and rough stone. I mean, I get that, like, I'm getting the feeling of age, but this whole place feels like a camp rather than a town. I mean, the buildings are nice enough. Let's see. Where's that? Oh, it's back over here. Oh, right, in the little... in this house. Better take care of some business here. Oh, we just passed a named child? Yeah, I didn't notice that. All right.
Welcome, my friend.
Let's see. Strong-willed skill duration. Don't even remember if I have that. Plus 1% survivability damage shield chance. Don't know what that means. Shields will be splintered damage. Do I have... Okay. Alright. I have to admit, legendary bridles, I still don't really get. But okay, let's do some reforging here. Let's see. Bleed damage. Ooh, actually. Well, I'm not using this weapon anyway. Okay. I'll just choose the legacy is like best on principle. Okay, hang on. Here we go. This is my actual weapon. Trick removal damage, I guess. As I'm not using blue line, so. Okay. Mischievous Glee. How can I forbear to upgrade Mischievous Glee? Positional damage. Oh yeah. Wait, I think this is also the one that I am equipping. Movement speed. Definitely. Sneak movement speed is one of my favorites. Okay, now that I've upgraded, like, reforged almost every single ally I have. Hang on a second, let me come over here to you briefly and
well met, my friend.
deconstruct some things. Like my fused deep relics, nice. And my, I think I got some settings here. Good, good. I've got that, and I think that's all I want to get rid of. Great. Okay. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff here. Let's see, we got a clean house now. Let's go. Okay, so my burglar's tools are maxed. What level are these anyway? Oh, 75. Okay, so they're good. And my sword is level 75, which is great. Thank you, Annandale, for my wonderful first stage sword. Okay, which I now have to level up again. Before I forget. How many times have you guys gone into battle, like, with your allies totally unranked up? Now, why does this say new legacy slot? What's up with that? Shouldn't that be an actual legacy? I don't understand why this is called new legacy slot. Burglar bleed damage, position, surprise strike from stealth. I use that a lot. Coup de grace damage. Let's do this one. And then let's do this one. Alright, perfect. Fine. And you. Another new legacy slot, which I don't understand what that means. Okay. Skills, critical multiplier, specialization, skill, critical buff duration. I know the meaning of every one of those words, but I don't know what they all mean together. Wait, the new slot is because I used a Crystal of Remembrance, but I haven't replaced the blank legacy with another one yet. Oh. Right. Alright. I think I don't fully understand the replacement thing yet. Alright. Well, we'll see what we can do. Alright, hang on. Let's see. Coup de grace, mark duration. Sneak movement speed. The most important of all legacies. Let's max that one, and let's max surprise strike damage. Okay. Reveal weakness range would be more useful if I actually remember to use it, but in case I do. And let's do a little incoming healing. Okay. Great. Now, I need to ditch one of these so that I can put my bridle in. Which one do I want to ditch? I've got nothing maxed except the thing I'm using. I guess I'll ditch this one. The one at 50. Or should I just ditch one of the lower ones? Cut my losses. Yeah, I'll just do that.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Okay, so let's deconstruct the silver one here. Okay, so I'm going to extract a legacy from this, which I could then theoretically put into the other one, right? So what do I want? Mischievous Glee Healing. Okay, so the other one was a major legacy. It was a gold one, so it has to be a gold one, right? Let's see. Critical chain skills, critical chance? Okay. I mean, this mischievous glee. What even is mischievous glee? Is that a blue line thing? I think it's a blue line thing. Am I right in thinking that that's a blue line thing? Yeah. It's yellow line. Okay. Yeah, I've never used yellow line. Okay. So I think I'm going to do this one. Yeah, I have... It's been, for me, kind of hit or miss on the whole replacing legacies thing. So, okay, so let me open this up again. And let's slot our bridle here. Yes. And I need like a whole new set of bridal relics or something. I don't know, whatever. Okay. And I'm going to use this to rank up my bridle, I guess. All right. So now we'll go over.
Your aid is welcome,
There we go.
friend.
Let's reforge this a bunch of times. Red Dawn skill power cost. That sounds useful. Let's do that one. Running out of power has been a problem for me in the past with red line on Warsteeds. Okay, let's see. Plus Warsteed armor. Ooh, maximum endurance. Sign me up. Okay. Great, and that also has the... Okay, hang on. I'm going to use this. Okay, I can slot it in there. Let's replace the new legacy slot. Hooray! There we go. Okay. Now let's see. Over here, Fury bonus contribution rating. Okay. Hang on. Let me max up my endurance. Yeah. Plus 1,000. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, fine. What is... I don't even know these skills is my problem. Well, that's fine. Let's leave it at that. Great. Excellent. Okay, that's... No, hang on. I've got to equip it, right? Do I have to be mounted when I equip it? All right. Oh yes, and when it comes to motion on Warsteed steering, Madman, I do know the trick about making sure that my camera's panned out as far as possible, and it does help. But again, my problem is if I'm not driving the bus. Okay, right. So here I need to actually. Where'd it go? Where is it? Hello? Oh, there it is. I want to move it down here. And I want to equip it. Okay. Good job. Carry on. All right. Great. So let's see. I'm meant to go find Nana, Horn, and Korodon. Where are they? Are they hanging out in different places? No, they're back in the training rink. Okay, fine. If I remember correctly, I should get used to galloping around this town. Uh-oh. No two guards are not on fire. Little side gate there. Okay. Oh, you've got another quest for me? Oh, no, I don't want to repeat the mounted combat tutorial, thanks. Okay. Oh, there they are. Hey guys, if I'd turned around, maybe I would have seen you before. No, probably not.
The horses of Rohan are renowned for their loyalty, strength, and speed.
Absolutely. And it seems to my eye that the steeds they have given us are no exception. If the steeds of the others are satisfactory as well, one of the men here requested our aid. Speak to Enston, there by the exit. Okay. What do you think, Horn?
Steeds are of good breeding and should serve us well.
It is good of Alder Harding to provide these war steeds. When I was last in these lands, he was a man of short temper and did not believe the king was strong enough to protect Rohan from what threatened her. That is interesting. I cannot imagine he has changed, but it's good to see he is making Harwick ready for whatever may come. Good. These steeds are of good breeding. Excellent. Nana has not lived her life among horses, but she still has done very well to pick it up in short order. Okay. Horn, I'm glad you approve of all of our competence. And Harwick does seem to be, or not Harwick, what's his name? Harding seems to be a bit of a jerk. Won't even talk to me, which seems rude to me. Okay. My people do not fight from horseback, so this has not been an easy adjustment. Still would I rather fight on foot and let my enemies charge toward me at their peril. I understand. You don't want to shame yourself. Yeah, Horn looks as if he were born in the saddle. I feel like an oryx up here. Yeah, I understand. Well, don't worry. As long as I'm around, you won't have too much to worry about. So let me go back over to... What's his name? Ingram? No, he's down there. Okay. I'm gonna... Hi, Prometheus. I am playing on Landreval. That is where most of my alts live. Come on, carry on. Yeah. We go around to the gate on the outside. Talk to, what's his name? Enforth? Enberg? Boom. Quick stop, as I've mentioned, by far my favorite skill. Okay. And stun. Right.
Messages calling for our aid.
Okay, all of us must band together if we are to survive the encroaching dangers, but there are so few of us fighting men available. Now Floodwind has sent urgent messages calling for our aid. Mansig and most of his men are still away, investigating the east wall. If he were here, I know he would ride at once in defense of Floodwind, but he is not. Who's Menzig? Oh, yeah, the guy that we met up there, sure. But why would he go? Would he go against the orders of the Reeve?
If Floodwind falls, Harwick could be next.
Okay. The land becomes rockier the further south you go, so your steeds will need to be sure of foot to make it there safely. Stick to the road. You don't know what threat has so worried the Raven Master of Floodwind, but it was grave enough for him to send 3 birds with the plea for help. Okay. Go with haste. Well, alright. Not going to lie, I'm not going to haste. Oh, look at this. Carry on already moving on up here. 3 points available. What do we have here? Hard to hit. Okay. What's this? Flick of the wrist. I think I'm just going to carry on with the blue to begin. What do you think? Yeah, okay, so, yeah, I'm not going to forget the salamanders. I got stuff to do here around town before I head down to Floodwind. So what do you guys think strategically? Because, again, this is something I've always just done very haphazardly. Should I level up my stats up here first and then add these down here? I'd always added these first and then did the stats because these give me different, like, new skills. Right? So, but what do you guys think? What's more advantageous, do you think? Building up the stats or building up the going ahead with the skills? Deep reserves. Okay. Sacrifice. I can expend power to protect the steed from sustaining damage? Okay, go for skills first with the stance that I've chosen. Okay. All right. You fill at the top. One's at the top first. Fine. Let's go ahead and do that then. So what do you think? We've got power, which I always appreciate. As I say, I run out of power sometimes. Endurance, I always love. But I've got that on the legendary, so that helps there. Armor, sure. Strength seems less important to me. Agility, help me steer better, right? Yeah, I need all the help I can get with steering, so let's do that. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Great. Okay, so he wants me to go to Floodwind, and I think I've gotten all the quests that I can get here, so I need to go get to the... Oof, getting late. Actually, it's past getting late. It is late. I guess I might as well stop there. Having explored the town, having gotten my Warsteed, and named my Warsteed. JJ, thank you for that. Oh, look, it's the refugee camp. So next week, Gryfflet will sally forth with his on carry-on, and he will... oh, I did promise to do a lore question. Let me do that quick. Okay. Let's see. Gosh, there's a lot of backlog questions, which is a good reason to answer one. Okay. Finnboga was asking, were there any nature spirit Maiar in Numenor? Yes. Have to think that there were. I mean, again, it's hard because what seems to be the change here... So let me just contextualize this a little bit for those of you who haven't listened to everything else I've done. So it's pretty clear that Tolkien's concept of Middle-earth includes essentially nature spirits, that there are spirits, sentient spirits, who are sort of living within, not embodying, but who dwell within the world, the landscape, right? The most famous examples of these are, of course, Goldberry seems to be one of this kind of thing. Carothras seems to be another of this kind of thing. And the one which is really most... one of the most remarkable, but it's not in the final draft, it's not in the published draft of The Lord of the Rings, are the spirits, that passage in Holland, when the company is passing through Eregion, and Legolas has that moment where he's listening to the stones, right? He hears what the stones say, but the grass doesn't remember. The elves that lived there, the Noldor who lived there before, the line that he says that the elves, those that lived here are of a kind strange to me. That is, in the published text, the comment that Legolas makes is commenting on the difference between the Sylvan elves and the Noldor who lived there, right? In the original draft, Legolas is talking explicitly about the spirits who dwell in Holland, and he says the spirits of this region are of a different kind than the ones I'm familiar with. Of the Sylvan folk, right? So in other words, he, as a wood elf, has a good relationship with spirits of forests, right? With wood spirits. But these are stone spirits, primarily, and he doesn't have a working relationship with them, so he can't get much from them, right? And that's why he only receives a general impression of their missing the Noldor. But he gives the impression that if this were a forest, he could talk with them much more readily, which of course also is interesting when you think about Legolas's desire to visit Fangorn, right? This seems to be one of the things that he wants to do, because the spirits of that forest must be very interesting ones, right? That he would like to talk to, that he would like to commune with. Anyway, Tolkien changes that line, right? So we don't get that in the published text. But there is reason to believe, it's one of the things Christopher Tolkien, when you read the history of Middle-earth and Tolkien's earlier drafts and things, one of Christopher Tolkien's primary lessons in his commentary throughout that is just because Tolkien took something out from an earlier draft and it's not in the published text doesn't necessarily mean that Tolkien changed his mind about that. Sometimes it does mean that, but sometimes it doesn't mean that. Sometimes it just means that the reference to it he's removing. He decides the story is better off without the reference, but that doesn't mean that the fundamental concept has actually changed or has actually gone away. And I personally think that the business of like communing with his local spirits is in that second category, where Tolkien takes out the reference, but he does not change the concept. Because again, we see him continuing with that in other ways, like especially Carothros and Goldberry. So anyway, so that's the kind of the basis of things. So Finnboga's specific question was, were there any nature spirit Maiar in Numenor? And I think there have to have been. I think there absolutely have to have been, but we get nothing about that. I mean, we get so little about like daily life in Numenor anyway. But I have to think that there were. I mean, these spirits who dwell now you could make an argument to say that since Numenor is kind of built from scratch, right? It's sort of raised up and made as an island designed specially for the Numenorians. That all the nature spirits are already distributed elsewhere, right? So there's none of them that are kind of not native to, but already attached to Numenor. But at the same time, I cannot imagine that there are no spirits dwelling in Valinor who would be like, hey, I'm going to go hang out in Numenor, right? I'm going to participate in the regular blessing of Numenor. The very fact that Numenor is blessed in the way that it is suggests to me direct activity, right? If Numenor is especially fertile and grows wonderful food, and I would assume that is because there are that doesn't happen by chance. It's not just a chemical thing. There's a spiritual dimension to that as well. I would think there would be a spiritual dimension to that as well. And I am reminded also, Finnboga, of the one Númenórean story that we have, like real Númenórean story, meaning Aldarion and Arendis from Unfinished Tales. And Finnboga, if you've read that, remember Arendis's issue with the forests, right? Aldarion is the great shipbuilder. And so, of course, he cuts down a lot of trees in order to make his ships. And this is one of the primary points of tension between him and his wife. His wife loves the forests and hates the fact that her husband is always cutting them down. And it's very interesting because Aldarion says to her, he's like, hey, look, honey, it's not like that, right? I'm not just destroying the trees. I plant trees. I'm a great tree planter, right? Like forestry is totally my bag, right? But she still is resistant. She's not satisfied. She's never satisfied but when he says, look, I've planted even more trees than I've cut down, right? It is not my desire. I am not the enemy of the forests. I am not I'm not depleting forests. This is, this is part of what I do, right? But she's not content with that. And I think, Finnboga, if we think about that story, if we think about it in conjunction with this question of nature spirits, right? Aldarion's attitude yes, of course, he may well be right that the total net number of trees on Numenor has not decreased due to his work, right? Due to his shipbuilding activities. But his whole attitude to the forests, even with his planting of trees, right? In one sense, his planting of trees does not make amends, right? Because instead of loving the forests and having a relationship with the forests themselves, right, with the trees themselves, he's treating the trees like a crop, right? He's exploiting the trees. And the very planting of trees by him is not a desire to see like the forests continue or the forests to grow. It's to raise a new crop of future wood, right, for his ships. So his entire relationship with trees is suspect from Erendis's point of view. And I think, although the story does not, I think, at any point say this, like we don't see Erendis, communing with forest spirits. That seems to me much more in the spirit of the conflict there, right? She is loving the trees for themselves, communing with the forests in themselves. Aldarion is using them as a means to an end. So anyway, that's so again, Finnboga, we don't see any reference to nature spirits in Numenor, but we have so few stories about Numenor at all. But I would think that they would almost certainly be there, and that forest thing with Aldarion and Erendis is what I think the closest that we get to something that might give us some insight into kind of how that worked. The only other thing I can think of that strikes me as kind of resonant with this question in Aldarion and Erendis is, really with the whole Numenorian history, is the protection of the ships. They have great reference for Uinen, right? The Maya Uinen, Osse's wife, and her preservation of the ships of the Numenorians. I'm not sure whether or not that implies some kind of sort of delegation on her part. And yes, Ethelod, the placing of the branch of Oyolosse on the ships of the Numenorians, it suggests to me that there's something else going on there. There is a kind of preservation of the branch of Oyolosse as well. I know it's an evergreen, but it's more than that, right? The way in which the Oyolosse returns with the ship fresh and green, again, suggests to me that there's something more happening here, that it's at least a token of, their not appeasing of the spirits. They're not, the relationship of elves and Numenorians to these nature spirits is not those of like the ancient pagan world, right? They're not propitiating nature spirits. They have a much more, like Legolas, doesn't like make sacrifices to the spirits of the woods, right? He hangs out with them, right? And that's much more the way that I think that we see the branch of Oyolosse on the ships of the Numenorians is much more in the way of like a pledge, a kind of a mutual pledge, right? The placing of the branch is like the Numenorians saying, like, we remember, we are, engaging in this relationship with these spirits, and the preservation of the Oyolosse is like the token from the spirits to be like, yeah, we hear you, we're with you, right? So again, there seems to be a kind of spiritual transaction, I think, which is removed, right? When later on, the spirit, Uinen herself and I think also presumably these other spirits who are helping to preserve the ships, they're going to become unfriends with the Numenorians, and the Numenorians the ships are going to start foundering. Anyway, so I do think if we first accept the general premise that these kinds of nature spirits are active in Middle-earth, and this is one of the ways in which Tolkien thinks, if we accept that general premise and then look at some of the details that we get about Numenor, some of the few details we get about Numenor, I think that we can, from that, construct some concepts that they are involved. But it's all very indirect, but I think it's the best that we've got. Anyway, all right. I should run because I'm started later than usual. I know, as I was saying in the chat before I began, my son Matthias, whom some of you will know from his stream on the Signum channel, the Rambunctious Riolu, his Pokemon Discovery project, which he began a few weeks back. Tuesdays at 4:30 if you want to tune into the Signum U Twitch channel to see my son broadcast on Pokemon. He's playing his way through Pokemon Yellow right now and talking about Pokemon stuff. Anyway, I had to take him to an open house for his new school this year, and so barely got home, like dashed in the door at 1 o'clock. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. So great to be back with you. Excited to get Gryfflet on horseback. Going to try some stealth Warsteed maneuvers next time, which is going to be great fun. And I should be back next week. I do not have travel plans. I think until October, actually, because we have our next regional moot for Signum is going to be in September, but it's here in New England, so I won't be traveling far away. New England moot happening Sunday, September 29th, if you guys want to join me, if any of you want to join me for that, down in Amherst, Massachusetts. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody, and I will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for Druid's Fire today. I think Druid's Fire, everything's happening as normal this afternoon, right? So stay tuned for Druid's Fire's stream. Thanks, everybody. See you guys next week. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.